We'll have the very latest on what was an active shooter situation this afternoon, reaction from Illinois, and an update on the number of casualties. A local partnership inspires entrepreneurs to bring business to downtown Beattyville.
Rain and snow chances continue through Saturday morning. Those details now at 5:30.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. If you will be traveling early tomorrow morning, roads could get a little slick. A quick hit of snow and maybe some freezing rain is possible for parts of the region. Chief Meteorologist Andrew Dockery has the latest on this severe weather alert day. Andrew?
Yes, Steve, we were looking at some of the latest data coming in, made our final changes, which we'll show you coming up here in a couple of minutes, to our snow map. And as you take a look at pinpoint Doppler, some snow already showing up to the northwest, but I do think dry air will eventually win out and not provide much snow for this first round. It's a second round, the one out in western Kentucky. In fact, those darker blues showing up, that's going to be what brings in that snowfall late tonight and into your morning hours for your Saturday. Temperatures already in the 30s down in western Kentucky, 33 in Paducah, 32 in Owensboro, and the 50s now slowly starting to turn to 40s and soon to be 30s for tonight. Of course, severe weather alert day, medium risk, travel impacts going to be the main thing we issue this for. Light snow up to an inch expected and some pockets of freezing rain cannot be ruled out as that changeover occurs. Steve, not everyone will see snow tomorrow. This is a very isolated event with a decent swath of snow somewhere in the mountains. We'll break down where we think that will be coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. The impact of the recent heavy rain is seen again here in Perry County, where crews are dealing with yet another mudslide. Officials say this slide happened sometime this afternoon on Kentucky 451, also known as Christopher Road, right before you get to Gregory Branch in Hazard. The slide is near the county garage. The road is expected to be closed until at least tomorrow. Drivers can detour by taking Highway 15. We have an update on water levels for Lake Cumberland. The rain lately has had quite an impact there. In a post on Facebook, officials say the headwater elevation is more than 735 feet. Earlier, they posted a picture of the highest ever recorded levels, which was back in 1984 when it reached more than 750 feet. A shooter terrorized a manufacturing plant outside of Chicago this afternoon. We now know at least one person is dead, 4 police officers are hurt, and the shooter is in custody. CBS's Nicole Killian has the latest.
Police surrounded the Henry Pratt Manufacturing Company outside Chicago as the city of Aurora tweeted a warning of an active shooter. Dozens of emergency vehicles converged on the plant, including local and federal law enforcement. About an hour after the first reports, as teams of officers rushed the building, came news a shooter had been apprehended.
That is just coming into our newsroom. A shooter has been apprehended.
CBS affiliate WBBM described the scene on the ground.
You can just see the sheer number of ambulances that are gathered in this parking lot of the facility. There are a number of officers out in unmarked vehicles with their guns drawn, long guns, rifles.
The city put local schools on lockdown through the incident, asking the community to stay safe and indoors. Nicole Killian, CBS News.
And the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor will, of course, have much more on this tonight at 6:30. President Trump officially declared a national emergency today to get $8 billion for a steel southern border barrier. The declaration comes after Congress passed a spending bill to keep the government open, a bill that only included $1.3 billion for a border barrier. The money from the national emergency declaration is expected to go towards constructing 234 miles of the wall. Kentucky's pension crisis was a main concern at the beginning of this current legislative session, but so far little progress has been made. Today is about the halfway mark in the session, and some lawmakers have not given up hope on pension progress. The deadline for the House to file a bill has been expanded to this Wednesday. Hillary Thornton breaks down what this means going forward.
Well, the most important thing with the pensions is that we get it right. We have to take the time to get it right.
That is what lawmakers say they are doing this session, a stark contrast to the pension reform process seen last year. We are about halfway through this session. Senate President Robert Stivers says there was a bill filed today regarding KERS and CERS, and he says they are still heavily working to establish a path for action regarding the teachers' retirement system.
We've had some informal discussions about possible solutions. Actually, some are taking place today and over the weekend about is there the possibility to reach some type of agreement, or do we need to hear more information or get more people involved to do actuarial analysis. But the process, even though not visible out front, is very active behind the scenes.
Today does mark the deadline for legislators to file any new bills in the Senate. Meanwhile, over in the House of Representatives, they have until Wednesday.
I think you'll see some bills filed that could become pension bills. As of right now, I don't know of any major pension reforms that are moving.
Today was the deadline the pension working group set for putting out a recommendation. Even with that coming and going, both leadership in the House and the Senate are staying positive.
I'm still hopeful that we've got a couple days left to file bills. I'm still very hopeful that there will be something presented from that.
Now, what it will be may be a whole fix, it may be a partial fix, maybe a continuation, but the process will go on.
Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
Lawmakers have said if they get to a point they do not feel like pension reform can happen this regular session, they would be open to taking it up in a special session. Today is the first day on the job for Attorney General William Barr for this term. He previously served as Attorney General under former President George H.W. Bush. He met with high-level staff at the Justice Department today, getting an overview from those leaders. A Justice Department spokeswoman would not say if he's been briefed yet on Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. We could find out Monday if a Louisville Secretary of State candidate can use his nickname on the ballot. Carl Trump Net says yes, that's his real nickname, Trump. He is among 4 Republicans running for Secretary of State this year, but the Secretary of State's office says he's trying to use the name to his advantage. President Trump won Kentucky by nearly 30 percentage points in 2016. State officials say a Kentucky child has been diagnosed with measles. The child lives in or around Bowling Green. The Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services says the child contracted the infectious disease after traveling out of the country. The child was not vaccinated and did not show signs of being infected until returning to the United States. Measles is considered the most deadly of all childhood rash and fever illnesses. The state says this case is not connected to an outbreak in Washington state. Entrepreneurs competing to bring business to Beattyville. City and county officials teamed up to create more incentives, asking each applicant to draw up a business plan that could potentially succeed on Main Street. A new shop now occupies a historic building that once housed the health department. WYMT's Taylor Upchurch has an inside look from Lee County.
15 vacant buildings losing life on the streets of downtown Beattyville.
It's really important that we get those filled.
Lee County and the city worked hand in hand, offering a lease agreement of $100 a month for the first year in exchange for a business plan meeting needs of the community.
What really goes on for Beattyville is good for the Lee County too, and what's good for Lee County is good for Beattyville.
The winner, Vault 606 of the city of Jackson. Owners say they see a bright future for business expansion.
This is what it will eventually be, the storefront. Still needs to paint on the walls, and obviously need to hang our shelving and everything.
To help Vault 606 get on its feet, an incentive utilities package comes with the deal. Water, sewer, and garbage pickup, all paid for the first year.
Of course, you struggle, especially those first few years, trying to get yourself to sustain.
Inventory includes vintage and modern video game systems plus board games. Services are offered too, such as graphic design and video audio production.
We also offer some repair services. They'll be here.
But 13 rooms are hard to fill.
They are going to reach out to the other people that were in the competition and see if they're interested in space in that building. So it's a really win-win and a pay it forward.
Planning to open in coming months. In Lee County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
If you're interested in starting a business or renting space in downtown Beattyville, you can go to WYMT.com for more information. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, an organization in Whitesburg could soon receive a big check, and you can help make it happen.
And the snow is impacting the western part of the state, but how long will it take to get to us? The answer coming up in 3 minutes.
And one company is helping folks that might have forgotten about Valentine's Day. We'll explain in our Money Watch report.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
Are you prepared to protect your family? When it comes to legal matters, tune in to Simply the Law with Gary C. Johnson, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock on WYMT.
John and Mindy carved their names on it when they moved in 2007.